Hi, I'm Sol Belair, and welcome to another episode of Legends of Land Rights. In this episode, we welcome William Bates. William has been a tireless fighter for Aboriginal people in the fields of social justice, law and justice, and of course, Aboriginal land rights. William Bates, thanks for your time, and once again, welcome to the Legends of Land Rights. This is the 30th anniversary of the land rights legislation, but you've been involved long before that, William. Can you tell me what your involvement was?
I was the chair at the time, chair of the Murruwinji Local Aboriginal Land Council. It was a big day for us when Bob Carr came to Murruwinji and gave me the proclamation of ownership. And I made it clear that we had to lease it straight back to the government. I made it clear that we have to do it. That's the 10th anniversary. I think it was 1998. The 10th anniversary sort of thing has gone past now. And you wouldn't believe that we blockaded out there, I think it was in September 1983, the time of the introduction of the legislation for the New South Wales Aboriginal Land Rights. We blockaded Murruwinji National Park the same year, and we intend to have a 30-year celebration this year to remember the blockade of the park. I've still got the original banner that we stretched across the road, and we closed the park for the weekend, on a local weekend. Just about every person came out. We turned away, and they agreed with us. We eventually got the park. It's running now quite successfully. There is critics within the national park system that doesn't like Aborigines owning their own land. They'd rather see co-management.
Yeah, but Murruwinji National Park, how significant was that? Not only just for yourself, but for the Aboriginal people right throughout this area.
Look, it's very significant. It was one of the proudest days of my life, because my grandmother is a traditional owner from that country, Mullingarpa people from around there. My granny was born just near Murruwinji at a place called Morden Station at the foot of Coonanberry Mountain, which is one big long hill and a lot of little hills beyond it that represents the kangaroo. In the Dreamtime story, the whole blackfella chased him and spared him, and that's where he lays. My mum was born in White Cliffs, which is Wanyawaragal country, and my dad was born on Yandama Station, southwest of Tippabara, and he's a Warakali. So I've got a big area of tribal. I claim 4 different tribes, in Barkindji including, because my grandmother on my mum's side is a Northern Barkindji, and she was a Rennie Williams.
William, prior to the legislation, you'd been involved in Aboriginal land rights forever, it seems. Is there anything you would have done differently?
Oh, look, there's certain things in the Act that could have been done better, I think, but it was a sad. One of the saddest things to me is that when they split the regions up, and not everyone done it sort of thing, but we was able to. You can imagine what we'd have been like today if we was able to continue as a regional land council and pool our monies. We'd have been cattle kings today, I believe, and we'd have been well off. But since the money was split up, we sort of just left on a one floor level, and we can't rise any higher. Murruwinji is a bit different, because we are, with the rent we're getting out of there, we can save, and we can buy a bit of property. There's still the claim process sort of thing, which is getting harder and harder. And John Howard made sure that we'd never be able to climb the ladder from there on in, and it's making it harder and harder. There's a Barkindji native title claim in the area that I represent my people around this area on, in the Mulyangapa country. The thing, since the Anderson case, and a lot of us don't seem to understand yet what, it was the details of the judgment and stuff like that. I'm also with the NBAN, Northern Basin Aboriginal Nations. That's sort of about the water.
In all these years that you have been involved in land rights, what is the most defining thing or the biggest contribution you've seen that you've made?
I think over the years, I said I wore a lot of hats. I was with the regional council attached to ATSIC, and it should have been amended rather than abolished. But I represented my people there. I served on the Western Lands Board. We set Murray Park Housing up, and I'm the founding chair of it, a very successful organisation. I'm proud to be the inaugural chair of the Marama Health, which is very successful. I think there's a lot of significant and very good things that happen. And I was sort of out and about, and wherever I thought I could help, I was there. I think probably in the beginning of the New South Wales Aboriginal Land Rights Act, I felt it was very important. I believe that the most important day of my life was when Bob Carr handed me back some of our traditional country. He handed me that proclamation of ownership, and I signed the paper and leased it straight back to him. That was very important, significant to me.
Aboriginal land rights, William, what is it to you? I mean, what does it mean to William Bates?
It's important, I believe, and I started to say earlier part, and I just sort of sidetracked myself, but now that where do we go from here on in with land rights? I mean, there's the sorry, there's the apology, there's the referendum that's coming up to recognise us, to see if people want to recognise us as First People. It doesn't matter I believe it doesn't matter what Australia feels. We know that we were here first. History itself knows that we were here first. But I think, whichever way it goes, there's got to be, if we put into a corner where we cannot claim any more land, under the Barkindji native title claim, we're going toe-to-toe with BMAX, a big mineral sands company down near Wentworth. We had an agreement, and now they've reneged on that because of the Anderson case. I believe the government, if the government wants to take my property off me, my house in the main street, to put a highway through, or they want to clean all the area to mine it, there's such thing as compensation. And I honestly believe that the government should compensate for every acre, the Aboriginal people of this country, for every acre of land that they took off us. They say the government can come in and they can legislate and take our land. Well, their policy isn't their legislation, I believe that there's a compensation process in place, that they should be compensating us for our land. That land rights is very important. The hunting and gathering sections in the Land Rights Act is very important. Cultural and heritage is probably one of the biggest again. And we have, I'm proud to say that I'm the chair of the National Park Board of Management and the Murruwinji Local Aboriginal Land Council there. We've got very significant sites that we own and manage ourselves. The government brought in this shooting on national parks. They can't do it on our park because we own it, not the government. They can always legislate. I hope they don't. But I think I've had a lot of important things in my life that I've done, and it was with the legal service. I joined that because I believe there was justice needed to be done.
So there's that rights agenda that you pursued.
It's the rights agenda that and continue to do so.
William, you mentioned constitutional reform and land rights. Well, what's your position on a treaty?
Look, it's I've never really thought about it. I mean, the government won't even look at it, sort of thing. But I think there's it's some I don't know. I'm sort of neither one way or another about it. What should go in it if there was one done? It'd be great to see there should be an Aboriginal control, as in government. I don't necessarily believe in what the Congress is doing. My belief is that when Captain Cook come here, and we had a representative of the Congress speak to the Regional Assembly in Cobar and say, oh, we're going to work towards certain things and we're going to work towards getting Aboriginal people off government welfare. What welfare? The government come and took what we own. If there's anyone's bludgeon on anyone, that's our minerals they've taken out of the ground. Everything they own, they grow a bit of rice in the ground. That belongs to us. So I don't believe in government welfare. It's the other way about, through my eyes. And I'll always have that until the day I die. We've got to get up this, if there's a treaty, we need to have a big say in it, and it's like negotiations with anything else. You've got to have a fair say in it, and sit up there and be fair dinkum about negotiation, the contents of the treaty.
Of all the things that you've done for Aboriginal people throughout New South Wales, how would you like to be remembered, and what is the legacy you feel you've left?
I'd like young people to get up and carry on where we leave off. I'm getting on in the years, and I'm 60, going on to 63 now, and I'm proud to, some of my kids are getting up and doing things. I'm proud of my daughter that works for NITV, which is a very important TV company for Aboriginal people, I believe. I'd like to see the young people around here to take off where we've left, start off, and we'll eventually have to get out of it. I'm also the chair of the Moody Parky Regional Enterprise Corporation, which is very large and successful. I'm not the founding chair of it, but I've been there for the last 8 years or so. And the government say there's star ratings they put out. We're the top star rating organisation in the country. One of the things I'm pushing at the moment is that all these Aboriginal organisations that I'm on, and I'd like to see Aboriginal organisations do the same thing, and that is to put a young person, one or two young people, on the board of directors to start learning and taking over, and learning leadership, so we can keep on the fight. The governments, the courts talked about tides of times changes thing. Bullshit. Look at what they're doing over in the Gaza Strip and places like that. Land, they're fighting over land for the thousands of years, and what do they think? 200 years, after 200 years or so here, they expect us to forget and walk away? I don't believe that we should. And I hope my kids don't forget it.
And finally, what is the message you'd like to leave for Aboriginal people in New South Wales in regards to land rights?
My message is to Aboriginal people in the country is that don't give up. Do not forget who owned this land. And let's not forget that Captain Cook didn't bring the wealth with him. They found it in our ground. And forget about this. It makes me sick to the gut when people talk about government welfare, Aborigines or sit-down money. We should be all rich. I heard someone say at the National Press Club at an address there, the richest woman in Australia should be an Aboriginal woman. Spot on. All the wealth in this country, and we still get told that there's no money. I'm trying to get a weir or a replacement weir so we can, this land that gets across the road here belongs to the local land council. We want to do a bit of irrigation. The government's saying, oh, there's no money. I'm trying to get a small lake filled up here as wetlands. Yet Bob Carr, God bless his soul, he gave us Moodawindi National Park back. But he's running around the world giving out millions of dollars, and they can spend millions of dollars on refugees. Don't get me wrong when I say it, but if they can spend money elsewhere, why can't they give us money? There's no money, not enough money not enough for what we already own, rightfully own anyway. they got the cheek to go to church and say, "I pray to God." You know, it's just hypocrisy at its best. And that's my message. Keep up the fight. Never, never, another 1,000 years or whatever it takes, never, never give up the fight. Keep it going.
Good on you.
Yep.
Thanks very much, mate. Appreciate it.